Hi everyone, Davis here, and today we're going to, today we're going to design the races for my game. So, um, again, the main thing for all of that is mostly the fact that, how to say this, the fact that I need to make my portfolio. And to make my portfolio, I'm making all those graphics. Without them, I'd probably be finished with demo for my game, probably already, because, pardon me. So basically, the main thing is that I need to make that portfolio. Without that portfolio making that I have to pull off, I would probably just keep on drawing things in pixel art already, make the logo in pixel art directly, make UI, everything. I will already be done with graphics, have a demo. I will be working probably on progressing the game, like adding more races, adding more, more heroes, yada yada. So yeah. Portfolio is definitely slowing me down because there's so much additional steps for my personal project that I have to pull off. That's really like making it really darn difficult to actually pull it off fully, right? So yeah, that's that. My main problem is exactly this. Without that, I doubt I would like at all need any, things to do, if that makes sense. So yeah. Mm, so basically, yeah. Mm, all right, let's go with this. So so we did had lots of fun actually playing. We finished yesterday half of the game actually. Um, yeah. So yeah, we are the first thing that we're going to touch is going to be probably a yeah. So first thing we're going to touch is going to be drawing humans. Humans are going to be like the very basis of everything, right? Mm, I'm now trying to figure out if I need anything else beyond that. Um, give me a second. Mm, no, I don't think I would need it. Actually, I don't think I would need to draw it this way. I think because like I would need to make a silhouette and then just drawing characters, I mean drawing characters, like drawing them with genders, right? Mm, like this. That's Dragon Sage concept art for races. So that's basically what we are going to thrive for. and basically like establishing the heights, so we don't even need that. I'm just going to make a, character to stand in a normal stance, kind of, legs spread a little bit. I'm going to straighten up the torso. So actually, why am I bending them instead of the limbs, instead of like making them like fully straight? Because, believe it or not, our muscles are not allowing for our limbs to be fully straight. Why is that? That's because the because that's like I have my arm like fully relaxed, and you can see that my muscles are like working this way. So basically it's like kind of gravity too. Like if I stand up and I have my arms like relaxed and they are like fully down, the muscles are kind of working like springs, so they're like contracting they're contracting slightly still, kind of like a spring, right? But you can still pull the thing on a spring further down, right? And the spring like expands a little bit more, which allows you to stretch your arm further, right? But like relaxed state of it is actually slightly bent. It's just kind of like that because like our arm, right, kind of have a muscle like that, right? So of course it's going to like pull it up further, because when we are going to stretch it, the muscle is going to go like this, right? It's going to like stretch with the arm. So if we like relax our arms, they're like starting to bend like this. Seems legit, right? So yeah. Damn, we're really getting way too many of these. But to be fair, I don't know if, because I've got a bot already on YouTube, on Twitch. Okay. So male and female, huh? Okay, we're going to just design male and female, no issues. Just like that. Good morning, Zagaga. Over here. How are you? Hope how's it going? Hi, hi, hi. How have you been? So yeah. Today I'm just designing races for my game. I know that my game is kind of like a card game, right? I would say it's like deck building, dungeon building game, but you're like building the dungeon out of the cards you're collecting. It's not like you can build a deck, like you have all of the cards you have in a deck available for you, but you can like change the rooms, destroy them, upgrade them, So yeah, that's that. That's that. I am thinking though about like how I can make the game stretch a little bit more. For now, I have like some restrictions in mind, but I don't think it's going to be that hard. And Zega, how have you been? What are the days when we can put out the big trash, like furniture and fridge and stuff? Don't know if you have those yearly days too. I think for us it's like at least in a block, because over here you have to order that. You can order this and you're paying additionally. But I don't think it's like that expensive. I think it's like you have to pay 100 PLN to your trash company that you're registering. But like it's like a topping up, right? Because you already pay monthly for their services and they're coming around every week. But you have to pay additionally on top of that for them to come in and bring the bigger ones. It's free for us once a year, and the whole city or district does it at the same time. Damn, that's actually cool, but it's only once a year. But on the other hand, you are not really selling that many, right? I mean, you're not really throwing out that many big trashes, right? You're usually selling them, like, you know, like, or giving them up so people can take them. Yeah. I don't know how, actually, I don't know how in your country though, because, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. Thinking of throwing something out? I mean, there are people who take them before they collect it. That's that's actually, yeah. I mean, to be fair, you can like place them out outside even if it's not the day for that, and someone's going to collect get it for you. Like going around with the red Lada and trailer and pick up all the fridges and stuff. Yeah, because they can sell them by for parts, right? For metal. Because there's like silver, copper, gold inside, right? Especially copper. Because like you know, in the fridges also, but also like other metals. But also they can like repair stuff with and sell them as functional refurbished fridges, or collect the wood for firewood. Yeah, that's also cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's nice actually. For us, people are usually like placing outside things for people to like take, but they are like, you can see that they're like higher quality items, and because it's better for them to like get like LTech, which is like not necessarily like a full thing, right? It's not like, I don't think it's like a ladder, but it's like a track with the thing. Oh, we have donation points for that. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's actually a really cool donation point, huh? For us, it's just like because we can just throw them up on our own to the, you know, trash site, and we don't pay anything. That's the thing. Do it forbidden to throw out electronic garbage. I see. I see. That's damn, that's actually interesting. I wonder. I wonder. So I'm planning on doing some things more realistically. Just more realistically, I'm still going to use my style, right? But I'm going to shade the character in a more realistic way for the sake of portfolio. Again, it's like making portfolio is really stretching out the entire process of making this game. And damn, that's like, you know, that's difficult. Because I'm not going to get a job if I'm going to like, if I'm not going to show that I can actually operate on other styles than just, you know, stylistic anime style, right? Because like recruiters don't care about anime if they are not making anime based game, right? Like sure, I could make like fully anime based portfolio and try to apply for Bandai, right? Or any other like game dev studios that are connected with Bandai, because they are making anime games, right? So like sure, I could do that, but I want to have versatile portfolio, which means I have to you know, be quite generous with the amount of styles that I offer and show that I can actually do things. Also, I'm doing like some other stuff on the side, like for example this one, right? I've been doing this one for a while, mostly when I can't fall asleep. I'm sitting down and I'm just drawing that, you know, for the sheer sake. I can do that and throw it into a portfolio too, still showing off things. That's why I'm going to still make it a little bit more you know, styled, and make the pixel art, because I don't see any sense in me making realistic concept art, anime concept art, and then pixel art. Because there's like I want to quickly make that game. I want to make this game. I don't want to like be stuck on the portfolio making, right? That's not the case. So I need to like, first of all, like try to speed things up. That's why I'm also going to try to pursue making a gameplay screens, right? So I could easily like base my scenes off of those screens, right? As simple as that. What might be also a thing, I'm going to try to make some kind of a simple splash screen. I can't really say that it's going to be fully finished in the style, but I think I'm going to do almost a sketch, so I could redo it in a pixel art, right, and then color it. Because again, the whole game is going to be made in pixel art, right? That's the main goal. So yeah, and yeah. So we are just going to make like the basis for all of the races, right? Also, Zaka, do you have like electronic junkyard? Because I know it's a thing in Norway. My friend actually, and surprisingly, they throw out even fully functional stuff. My friend scored 6 mouses, rats, right? And he managed to have 4 of them operational from the parts from the other 2 that were broken. He saved himself 1 and he still uses it, and he sold other 3 for quite a penny. Even though those are used, rats were quite expensive when he was doing that. So he was, he genuinely like pulled off like repairing like older things, and from the items from the same place, and he still like pulled off like working, making them work and stuff. The recycling companies buying them up. Oh, I see. So they are probably doing exactly that. They're like taking those things, refurbish them with other things. They strip for parts and resell them. Yeah, I see. So someone already thought of that, huh? Shoot, that's actually crazy though. But there's a company which is proxy for like ordering stuff from Japan, and I've seen Game Boys for as cheap as 25 PLN. Some were even functional. The functional ones that weren't junk were 50 PLN. Phone companies pay for previous phones too. Yeah, here they do that too. Yeah, but it's actually the phone recycling policy because of lithium batteries, and basically those companies are selling them to the phone refurbishing companies, and those are repairing the phones, fully wiping them clean, making them like fully operational refurbished phones, and selling them as the refurbished phone on the internet, which is more expensive than used one, but cheaper than new one. So you can I can literally just go on the internet, and I don't want to use the used one because I know there might be some issues with it. I'm going to buy the refurbished one because this is going to be more like a cheaper option for me from the new one, right? For example, if I want to like those flip phones, right? Those, opening like a book, I can go for a refurbished one, and it's going to be like 50% of the price even. So like imagine that, right? Also, I've seen that people are attending to buy things from leasing, like post leasing items. Bro, cars, laptops, phones, like dude, that's crazy. Like even those Microsoft desktops that we've talked about last time, I've seen them all, really. You have no idea how cool that is. And like how cheap those things can get. And they're operational. That's where I get my T-series Lenovo's. Yeah. I've also got my T-series Lenovo from that. Like post leasing, wiped clean. Every company using them, yeah. Like heck, I could possibly buy things from post leasing and just open a company just with the post leasing hardware, basically. But you need to find like a good post leasing thing. They put in new hard drives, yeah. Just because you know the policies, right? Although I've got mine with some files. But of course I've done the first and you know thing, right? As a law-abiding citizen, I've wiped the hard drive fully. I've reinstalled the whole Windows, wiped the when I've noticed the files, I've just wiped it fully clean and reinstalled Windows, just so there wouldn't be any files on there. I mean, of course, I assume that you can still recover, I guess, in some way, but you know. Most companies has to shred previous ones. Yeah, they actually have they actually have companies for that, and they are giving them the you know the licenses that the hard drives were shredded for them. Like imagine, like to be fair, I've seen a freaking video where dude received a box of 250 laptops. They've had holes drilled into them because the boss of that company thought that this is going to protect their files. Surprisingly, he didn't even touch the hard drive, so he could literally pull up all of the files from the company from the hard drives, basically. The dude who bought the laptops. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know, like I know that some people want to feel like bosses and they want to have that vibe that you know they know what they are doing, but sometimes they really need to listen to their employees, because I know that no employee was listened to when he was doing that. Like you hear that story and you already know that the boss told them, I'm the boss, I know better. Which is kind of irritating if you think about it. Yeah. But hey, so tomorrow we are going to have two streams, I think, right? Yeah. So we are going tomorrow at 12. We are going to make a stream where I'm going to draw random characters, a viewer's request. And with the same, I'm going to pull up with a new viewer request comment on YouTube, so you'll be able to feel free to write under your request. And we're going to play Lego Batman. We're going to start at 7 p.m. We're going to start the new thing. We're going to start the, not the new game, but like we're going to shift to the bad guys perspective, and we're going to make 3 chapters again. So can't wait. I really like Lego games. I know I've said that a couple times already, but there's just something that I really like about Lego games that I can't really, you know, say. Maybe it's because like I'm really casual player. Like I'm genuinely like a very casual player. I don't play difficult games. Well, I like difficult games, but I see where the game is forced to be difficult, like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, because the game is done difficult because of bad level design and bad enemy placement. Something else is in the difficulty when you're, for example, playing Shadow Dice Twice, right? Because there you actually have logically placed enemies which have some HP, and you have to figure out how to sneak around them or actually how to beat them logically. And you actually have to learn how to fight with those enemies, and not only that, you have to learn how to fight with the bosses. With Elden Ring, sure, you still have to learn the pattern of the boss, and you can still do that, but it's still like really unfair system with how you have to go to that boss, your, you know, your limitations to how you move and stuff, you know? So that's the main problem, actually, that I've noticed. I have something here, whatever. So yeah, I do feel like all that, you know, jazz about Elden Ring and Dark Souls, no, those are not good games. NCSoft was just, you know, people just figured out like, oh, what is a difficult game? Because back in the days, I'm sure someone said like, oh, okay, that game is bad. Like, what even is this placement? What even is this placement of enemies and stuff? Like, and people like actually caught up to that. Like, heck, that game, which one was it? AI Limit, Souls-like, difficult game, good placement of enemies. I've died a lot of times just because of my stupidity and learning on my own mistakes, right? That's the game where I wasn't getting angry at it. Like, seriously. Gothic, difficult game, good placement of everything, good map, right? It's that problem where at some point you sit down and you have this like, okay, I want to play this game, right? I'm not saying that I'm not going to play the game. I want to play Elden Ring still, but it's just I feel like it doesn't deserve the popularity it got. I think it's a mid-grade game. Meanwhile, it was glorified on the same level as Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is way better than this. Again, Baldur's Gate, difficult game, good placement of enemies, good map. You can make a difficult game, and you don't have to resolve into similar things to what Elden Ring and Dark Souls were resolving to. So like, I just don't understand like why is it still, you know, taken to the account as good game, where clearly it actually doesn't where clearly it was just made difficult because of like, I don't know, laziness with placement of everything. Like, sure, some battles with the bosses are cool, but for example, when you're, you know, fighting with that red-haired girl in Elden Ring, right? The most difficult boss in Elden Ring, where you have to, and I kid you not, dodge for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then you have enough room to hit her 2 times, and you have to dodge again for that many minutes, that is not difficult thing. That's just bad design. Like, you can beat this game by dodging enough of times to genuinely hit the boss couple times and start dodging again, right? And then you're like beating the boss, and that's it. Nothing else to that. Like, I might sound a bit salty because I am, but I still feel like it's just not it. Also, like, you're not getting any like objectives. Like, oh, the game is open world, you can do whatever you want. I'm playing the game for a story, for a reason. Like, give me the direction I have to go. I mean, okay, like, I skip the story most of the times, right? But I read my quests, right? Because in the quest, in the end, we are still being told what to do. And there's just very few games where I'm, you know, like, for example, games that I know the story of already, right? I also know a lot of stories from the games, and that's also the reason why I'm skipping a lot of the stories. Because I've watched people play those games, because for most of my stuff, you know, that's the thing, you know. You know, if you want to, do you want to play my game I made myself? No. Aniru, no, sorry. Also, hi, hello. Since this is the first incident, so hope you find a coffee corner here. How are you? It's, you know, kind of a safety from, you know, viruses. There's a lot of people. I'm looking through each here and there, you know, and playing some games from each, so that's that. Or I'm just buying the games on Steam and playing the games on Steam too. It all depends on, you know, on if the game is already released or not. Not like you can't put virus in each games. I mean, true, but each has like some like checkup protocol, right? Steam for sure. Steam for sure has this, right? I don't think so. Huh? I see. Well, I'm also reading the comments just to double check. So that's that. Also, who the hell is like coming to? Like, I see that YouTube emptied, so I'm going to say that who the heck is coming to some randoms dudes that you've never talked with, come to their streams and ask if they want to play your game you've made by yourself. Like, dude, like, I understand that you would want to like advertise your game, but to be fair, just write the email, send the key to the Steam, and that's how you're advertising your game, right? Like, do what you want to do. Like, there's plenty of people on YouTube too that are going to really like gladly accept keys like that. Dangerously Funny, Grey Steel Plays, Wallygug, bunch of people, because they're doing like indie game content, especially like games that are like you know, incrementals and stuff. But they're playing other games too. Like, I mean, Dangerously Funny, I think he's playing mostly incrementals, but for example, Wallygag and Grey Steel Plays were playing other indie games too that had some story and stuff, right? So that's the one. Also, Steam, I feel like Steam should like also check the updates for viruses too, because they are not. You can upload a game that's going to be like fully clear from everything, and then put out a malware update, and they are not going to check the update. They are just going to check the copy you're applying with for viruses and stuff, and then they are going to allow you to update the game as you will. So you genuinely can literally make it that the game is going to act as freaking Bitcoin miner while mining for your wallet while people are going to play your game. And that's actually a lot of scams also on the game dev side. I've seen a lot of people receiving emails from companies claiming that they are going to buy the project from you and advertise it, but they're so they could earn on it, hoping that smaller developers are going to sell the project to them and allow those people to like genuinely update the game with malware, and they are not going to like there will be no change in who made in the developer, so basically the whole fault is going to go on you. That's all like also another thing. Way too many stuff that I've seen, especially recently, going on, and like way too many cases and instances I've seen of people like doing exact same thing as that Anir did on YouTube, like coming to like streamers asking if they want to play the game. People were turning on the game, and just like that, they were losing all of their accounts. Twitch, YouTube, Steam, their Gmails. Way too many things happening. Like you really need to be cautious. And the worst thing that there are people who literally for years like were capable to protect themselves from that, and they were still by the end of the day suffering from being hacked because one small mistake that they wouldn't catch up and everything goes down the gutter. Everything. I think they would though. So you know, we have to be like very cautious about like, you know, I see the like caution from streamer side, and I see like where game developers have to be cautious and why they would want to, for example, also like walk around people's streams and advertise their game. But like there are other ways to do that, like more intelligent ways, official ways, right? Like for example, releasing the game on freaking Steam, and I know it's not really cheap because it's not. You have to pay for really to release your game on Steam. But if you advertise it with, you know, with your head, I guess there's nothing to worry about in such case. Because like if you actually think how you can advertise yourself, right? Your game and structurize your like, you know, your recipient base, right? And you do really well with what you do and your game is actually good, that works, you know? Because you also have to remember that, for example, if the game is, you know, it's just bad, right? Like done quickly for like purpose of just making quote unquote easy money, because some people still think that a lot of there are like a lot of possibilities for easy money, you know, then they are like suffering from, you know, from disappointment, and they are saying that it's the world that's wrong, then, like, you know, their fault, right? Like, for example, I know like how expensive my game would be because I know how much I would personally pay for it, right? That's another step. Like, how much would you be willing to pay for a game if you would be the person buying the game and not you as the author who made the game? Like, for me, I would pay for that game like 25 PLN, which is like around $10, I think. No, slightly less, but you know what I mean. Like, because like seriously, some people make a game. The game seems cool, but it's too expensive for what the game actually is supposed to be, you know? I mean, for what the game actually is. And that's also killing the game. And when someone says, dude, just drop the price, they like get super offensive. Like, why should I drop the price? It's a really good price for a game like this and stuff. Because, like, I understand that some people do take pride, right? I'm also taking pride in everything that I'm doing, all of my artworks, all of the content I'm making, right? But I do understand criticism. Some people really need to like be more open towards the criticism and actually try to understand the simple things, right? That, for example, they've overpriced something. Like, for example, I don't think I'm willing to buy that many AAA games anymore. I'm mostly like buying games that I really kind of want because they are like, oh shit, they're actually revolutionary. I am willing to pay for that. Then I can like buy it, right? And for most of the times, I'm waiting until they're on sale on Steam. Like Assassin's Creeds, I didn't buy them as they were releasing. No, I didn't care about them when they were in full price. I bought the full freaking pack when it was on a sale. Like all of the Assassin's Creed on a sale. That was it. And then I just bought another package to update them. Like, and because I was lacking the newer ones like Origins, Valhalla, Odyssey, Shadows, right? I was lacking those newer games. So I just bought another package when it was released. When it was on a when it was on a sale. You don't need to play the games on their premiere. It's better to wait for a sale. And to be fair, I do feel like if more people would be doing that, game companies would start releasing the games with already smaller price. You know what I mean? Because they would know that people wouldn't buy the game at all. So they would either release the game with the huge sale for the release date, because they can make a promotion, right? Like, hey, grand premiere, here's the sale, like 15% off. I think that's fair for AAA games with the prices they have, right? Like, try to drop it to that, you know, to that price it used to be previously. Like, for me, it was like 250 PLN. Like, AAA games were 250 PLN, like 249.99, right? That was the usual price for the games. For AAA, and they are higher now. They are like 350 now, right? And I've heard they are going even higher. They want the games to be freaking higher. Like, I'm not going to pay 400 PLN for a game. Like, 400 PLN is capable to last me for more than a week with groceries. Like, I was already overpaying by paying them 250. Like, I refuse to buy games for the full price. I've got probably the last games with the full prices because they were like they still had like smaller price, right? Like Crimson Desert had lower price than the usual AAA. At least for me. The GTA 6, I've bought a pre-order on the store and the pre-order was on a sale. Well, kind of. They were making a promotion that you can enter a code and you are getting some percent off. So I've used the promotion for getting the GTA 6 for less as a as the pre-order, and that's that. Like, I know that it's kind of like cheap behavior, but nowadays I think it's fair behavior. Also, I am really starting to think if buying the product isn't owning it, then pirating it is not stealing. I'm starting to really believe in that, because if what's happening right now is like really getting out of hand. Really getting out of hand. And like I've seen people like going to the court with companies like freaking Microsoft because their account was banned, was hacked. Microsoft deleted that account and told him to repurchase all of the games he had. Repurchase them. Like, imagine you have an account. Okay, hold on. Like, let me tell you. With like my statistics, right? I've got I need to sum things up. Of course, the calculator is not. So I've got 380, 127, 18, and 3. I've got 528 products currently on my Steam account. I've had my Steam account for ever since primary school. I'm 26 now. Imagine me losing all of that. Not defending Microsoft, but imagine you have physical games and they rob you. You probably have to repurchase too. No, you don't. Unless, because the thief have to repurchase them for you if they sold them, or they have to bring the stolen goods to you back. At least here in Poland, that's how it works. Because like police is finding these stolen goods for you too if they find a thief, and what they can recover, they recover for you. So if you have physical games, some of them at least can come back here. And what's not, well, thieves don't work that way here. They usually just vanish. Well, over here they do too. Also, what they stole is already gone. I mean, yeah, that's why, like, thief that stole from you have to pay you up enough money so you could receive those goods back. And you can decide what you do with those money. So if you lose permanently goods that they stole from you and they were unrecoverable, the thief have to actually, like, well, most likely you are going to be paid, for example, by the government, and the thief has to like work that money off, or the thief have to pay you back directly, but they still have to give you the money back. And our police is actually searching for the thief. It's not like, oh, the thief is gone, like we are not dabbling in that, like treat those goods as gone. No, the thief is actually coming with it, and who will prove and how what you had and what was the value. Even if they catch them and they confess and somehow there is evidence. That's the thing. You know what you own. You declare to the police what was stolen directly. What you don't remember, you don't remember. Like, you can even say that, I don't know, they stole like PS5 Pro from you, even though you never received that one. I had a $60K diamond. Yeah, you can. And how the thief is going, and here's the thing, how the thief is going to prove that he didn't steal it. That's the thing. That's why stealing here and getting caught with it, it's really like, you know, you're actually can get messed up if someone is like very petty, you know? Because I can literally declare I've had that $6,000. That's the thing, that they are innocent until proven guilty. That's why you have to have cameras. You have to prove they stole it. Well, fingerprints, for example, or cameras. That's why you have to have cameras, right? We do. So for us, it's like the thing. Like, literally, someone stole a bike from us once, and we had like this on a camera. Like, the police caught them, and they gave back the bike, right? But they still had to like face the stealing penalty. We just received our goods back. Also, you can also you know, you have to prove they stole it. I mean, if you have on a camera a recording that someone is walking out of your house with your goods, like, and I think I'm saying this from the perspective of how it looks here. Like, I believe this might also be a really huge difference between countries, okay? But over here, like, if you just have one small recording that someone took something out of your home, that's instantly proving that they stole from you everything you declare. Unless they prove they didn't. Because they can also prove that. I've seen that. Like, a guy had a garage and he was holding stolen goods there, and he basically, you know, just had all of the goods, like, you know, holding there. He said that everything that he stole from them is in the garage. They've actually took back all of the goods, and actually, like, lying, like declaring other stolen goods than what was originally stolen, can actually like come around and bite you in the ass, because the guy was then the guy who declared that those additional items was facing charges for lying to the law enforcement, like fake charges, false charging, for false charges. There you go. Like, sure, you have to prove things, right? But you can literally, it's not that hard to prove stealing, right? I think it's more difficult to dispute things with your bank than prove that than actually like give the reason to prove that someone was stealing. Like, you can even say that they were like walking around your someone actually stole from you. You can say that, and you suspect who stole it from you, and police is going to check it just by your suspicions. And if they find goods there, then damn, you were right, right? There are also like false accusations just because someone wanted like a thing from the person. Sometimes it worked, but actually people started, keeping the receipts and showing them in court, proving that they own that thing because that was their receipt, paid with their card, right? I remember I was even damn last year, because that was the last time I was actually going to a tech store. So basically, in the tech store, there was a dude who actually had this issue, and he went to the tech store and asked for like proofs of purchases of certain items because someone lied that they stole from them those items when they clearly owned them, right? So, and our stores can actually do that. They can actually print copies of the proof of purchase, at least the tech stores, because they keep documents, right? So, and most likely dude won because, come on, he clearly has a proof of the real ownership, right? Why would, and he, just bought those things, right? Although imagine that you don't have a proof like that, then you're fucked. But yeah, I have to like say this. Our law doesn't work. When you clearly present proper proofs, they are not taking them for the account. Got a 96% IV shiny Mewtwo. Yo! 98% IV shiny Mewtwo. Damn. I remember I've had Giratina 100% IV. I lost the account some time ago because I stopped playing. I don't even know if I didn't like delete it actually. I think I deleted that account, to be fair. Yeah. How you lose an account? I think I deleted because I wasn't like, going to play Pokemon Go anymore. I just stopped. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to delete it. I don't think you can delete it. I had it connected with a Gmail that was maybe you just uninstalled. No. I had it connected to the Gmail that I've deleted. I've got rid of that Gmail. And everything I've had on the account was connected to it. I've lost like a bunch of progress on many games. Well, I discovered recently that I have the old Gmail with the Pogo account too. Damn. I think I still have like the account. Like, why would you delete a Gmail account? It's dangerous. It was a Gmail account created just for games, and it was hacked. I mean, it was compromised. One of the games sold my data. It got pwned, and basically I started receiving notifications that people are trying to break into that account. So I just deleted it because I didn't care. There was nothing interesting on that account anyway. Also, I'm always like keeping in mind the most important things, and if it's a game, it's a game. I don't care. But like I do remember what I have to transfer. That's normal when your email address gets out. Yeah. But usually I'm, still tracking if my email is getting pwned. Like there's a website, did I get pwned? And you can just type in your email address and it's showing you how many times it was spawned. I'm tracking it. And I change my passwords every single time a new entry is in. The problem is that I'm paranoid. I'm really paranoid. But I'm checking it like every 3 months. I've checked it last month too. And I've went for some brains. And I keep like banking data, Steam account, and everything on a very like desolated email address. Like away from everything. I'm not giving access to this email from any game. I'm not giving access to this mail by any website, anything. I just keep their like very important accounts that are kind of connected to my banking. And this email is still not pwned. That's actually the brains I've went for, right? Dude. I have an at msn.com email. Okay, yeah, that's that. But I don't know how to set up msn.com from the MSN Messenger era. Oh. Oh. Oh wait, okay, no. I thought you mean like that you have like your own like your own email address like hosted on your machine, like you've made like email server on your own PC. My friend did that once. He said that there could do that. My friend did that once. He said there was so much work. Don't see the point. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, for example, when I was working at the company that I was working until start of this month, right? Because I'm on the unemployment right now. I was thinking about making emails like that for the thing, and we would just host our like each employee would have like a host would host their own emails on their machines on their PCs. But I couldn't really get to do that. What? Why? Because the company is constantly drowning in debt and constantly having problems with money, and hosting was actually a lot of money for the company per year, which was like with all the things that had to be bought, it was roughly 700 PLN. You need only one SMTP server. I mean, yeah, like one SMTP server, but like I wanted to like have them have like folders on their thing so they could access the emails directly, right? I guess. That's what I wanted to do. At least that was just the idea, right? Like the main idea was to just to host the emails on, or at least on one machine, right? You just need a Linux laptop running a server. Hell yeah. So yeah, those are like, I'm really going for more realistic proportions on this one. But damn, it's good that I don't have to like worry about designing the race, you know, those races with like, you know, any like turnarounds, because then I would like literally jump out of the window. People can connect to it with Outlook or whatever. Yeah. That was like another thing that I wanted to do. Also, we didn't have Linux machine. What I thought of having was actually like hosting it on my PC fully, like Windows PC, because I could. I think I was hosting already a lot of things, like the you know, like LAN folder, right? Also, I'm starting to collect dollars. I'm starting to throw some money that I'm earning from commissions, which are still in dollars, you know, just to have them in dollars. I'm preparing for my trip. I think I would want to have like at least $1,000. It's totally doable. At least around. I don't know how much $1,000 would be actually in America, but I want that at least, you know. Also, I'm still waiting for that other company to call me. Finally, some remote offer, some remote capability. Mm, I'm just waiting for them to, you know, to respond to me regarding that. You know, it's just some back office stuff basically, but I'm kind of good with that, like looking at spreadsheets and whatnot. So I'm not going to say no to that. I think I have something magnetic nearby, but I don't know what is the magnetic thing. Because some my like because like my knee, right, is like getting messed up here and there, and it's like losing like its possibility to like, you know, have the, you know, contact, right? It's a sign that there's something magnetic nearby, but I just don't know what is the magnetic thing. I would like get rid of it so I could just be able to draw normally. I don't have any magnets. But yeah. One eye is higher than another. There you go. All right. Do we give them like any hairstyle, or do we make them bald? After all, what matters right now on this stage is the race. I assume like what they are usually dressing into and stuff, but also dressing into things is going to be. I think mostly what's being done is actually like drawing them in like some typical underwear, and that's that. So let's give the guy boxers. Oh yeah. Okay. Mm, yeah, let's just give them like short hair. Okay. Okay. Yeah, those there will be like those smaller elements. So I am still thinking what we are going to play after the Lego Batman playthrough that we have. I am really lenient towards Saints Row because like I really want to like quote unquote get rid of some of the games. I've got like a huge backlog, like over 100 games that I really want to play, and most of them are like just games that are portions of a series. So I really want to like nibble on some series and finish some of them as fast as possible. Like Mega Man Battle Network has 6 games. Then well more actually, because also you have that Star Crusader thing, I guess. So 9 games, right? Then we have Yakuza, which is also have 7 games or something like that. At least the original series, which because that's the one I'm going to go for. And then we have a Assassin's Creed, right? Assassin's Creed itself has like crap load of games, and they are getting progressively longer and longer. And then I also have like some other shorter games. I think we are going to do it like I'm going to make a 100% corner kind of thing for games when I'm going to finish Lego Batman. So we're going to have a split between like 100% in games and playing the games. But on the other, because like that's the thing. I think what I'm going to do is going to be like playing through all of the games that I have. Try to, and when I'm going to finally like catch up fully to like all of the games I have, that's when I'm going to like try to add more. That's when I'm going to try to add more games connected with a, how is it called? Connected with like 100%ing, you know. So like I'm going to genuinely just replay some of those games and try to get the 100% from them. And like I'm going to probably either start with Lego games, or I'm going to just for fun try to 100% the Lego games just like this, because like 100% in Lego games is not hard. It's definitely not hard. It's easy. All you just need to do is like walk in, like for older games you don't even need to like walk around the city. All you need to do is just taking the thing and just play it, you know. Human male, that'll be human female. Actually, wait, female, male, folder, human. Yep. Okay. And yeah, basically after that, I'm going to play a little bit with that silhouette tool that I've had, you know, that lasso tool that's making like 50% of stuff. Like 50% opacity. So yeah, actually give me a second. Reino Tuna does have a, you know, the thing where he was drawing realistic characters. Just give me a minute. I need to find it. I think it was here. Uh, yeah. It was here. Okay. I was just drawing like older lady, you know. Also, I've caught up with One Piece again. I finished Blade and Soul. I've caught up with One Piece again. And now I'm watching Claymore. Watched so far one episode. I have to admit, it looks cool. It started quite interestingly because we know now a bunch of stuff. Claymore's cool. Yeah. So far, I really like it. Even after one episode, I can already say that I really like it. I like how it's drawn. Yeah, the art style is especially like very specific. It's making the whole anime mm, I don't know why, but I feel like style is also deeply rooted with deeply roots how the series is received, and the style is making like Claymore's story well received. You know what I mean? It's like genuinely doing really well on that matter. It's the old aesthetic. Yeah, but even as for old aesthetic, it's not how to say this. Even fights are insane too. Yeah, already that like from the first episode, the fight scene, that one was really freaking dynamic. Also, I feel like those witches, the bad ones, right? The ones that are getting killed, are maybe would have like some access to the memories, maybe? Like they can see within your head, I think. Because I think it like transferred into like some kind of envisionment how the boy memorized. It will be a lot better later when girls go against each other. Ooh, okay, I can't wait for that then, because that like already the first episode created this like holy shit, they are like invincible kind of vibe. They just annihilate the demons, yeah. Okay, now she looks like she's got a cross side. Turning them into minced meat, yeah. That's why that's why I really like it, the vibe of it. And why for me it's not like the other anime. Also, even for old anime aesthetic, it's way more pleasant. Also, they have vastly different power levels compared to each other. Huh. I see. I think it might depend on like what demon created them. Freaking fate stole ideas from it. Damn. Did they? That's crazy. No, the girls have different power levels compared to each other. I see. Because like they've explained that they were like made with the demons too, right? That they're like, I think it was like they are offspring. Some of them can take on 5 others without breaking a sweat. Huh. Because they were like explaining that those are like humans that is the Witcher but with chicks. Let's go. Let's go. I like the idea. No, guys, because they cannot resist turning to demon. Huh. Okay, so that's the idea, huh? They can like turn into demons. Okay. But like the first girl we've seen in the anime almost turned into one, right? Because she like started like convulsing after like the whole yeah, all demons were humans before. Okay, so that's the whole thing. The girls are like witchers. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. But also it kind of makes sense, you know, because like I think it might be kind of connected with the psychology. Kind of half demon. Mm-hmm. Oh, like Cabaneri from that train anime, right? Like basically, so basically in that anime, like there was a thing that there were like zombies, Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Haven't seen that one though, but I might. So basically, like in Cabaneri, there were like zombies that if they were biting you, they were like infecting you with some virus, and like basically the thing was that the main hero had the theory that if the virus won't reach the brain, you will be able to get rid of the virus. But he like turned like accidentally, unknowingly turned himself into like genuine like mix of those, you know. So basically like the moment that they are like loosening up the things around their necks, they're like, you know, heightening like how much of that like zombie instinct they have. But if they are going to stay in the state too much, they're going to turn into the zombie. But the thing is that the guy had no idea about it, but it was something that was already happening. Like people were getting even forced to be turned into something like that because they were like better soldiers, basically. What, you haven't seen Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust? No, no, I haven't seen it. I might add it too. Wait, let me check if I have it. I'm just going to add it directly. Quick add. Vampire Hunter. Wait, Vampire Hunter. Hunter D and Hunter D Bloodlust. Okay. I'll drop Plan to Watch for those are movies though, but Plan to Watch, yeah. I'll add them. Why not? Yeah, it's just a movie. Yeah. But you know, I still watch it. It's not like I cannot. It's all hand-drawn style and beautiful. Mm-hmm. I kind of miss those things, you know? Those old anime. So yeah, just you know, working some stuff out here and there. Nowadays, everything drawn digitally and too perfect with the flat colors and motionless parts of the image lacking imperfections. Yeah, but that's what Japanese wanted. They're, I guess, they're just like big perfectionists. Eh, oh, hell yeah, that's a crazy scene. Yeah, those are like really darn good. I really miss those anime. Like, why anime nowadays can't be made as it used to? It's just a random scene. Yeah, it's just a random scene, but it was like it's you won't see any similar scene made in the freaking nowadays in the studios. Back in the days, they were like, drawing all of that like rapidly, like rapid fire. Also, the hand painted backgrounds, yeah, that's true. I'm telling you, it just makes me sad to see how it you know goes basically nowadays. I do admit it's you know like there's so many things going on now with like anime side, like freaking pirating website which saved money and became legal, and it's now like trying to make a monopoly and like bragging about how bad pirating anime is while they used to do that. There are some nice stuff nowadays too, but nice differently. Yeah, but they can still achieve the same effect. That's the problem. They can still achieve the same effect. They just don't want to. Okay, hold on. Like this. And like this. So yeah, it's kind of sad. Especially also the freaking One Punch Man. Like, come on. Seriously though. One Punch Man was a disaster. Yeah. It was an absolute disaster. Like, come on, I can literally, when I'm going to make manga, most likely what I'm going to do is going to be like making couple scenes, like literally just copying and saving the like bunch of like scenes around the area, just so I could reuse the backgrounds. Like, first of all, I'm drawing a similar character for my game right now too. Oh my. Like similar like this? Similar like the base? I can send it to you. Like, I'm just doing this as a project, but if you are going to have like usage from that, like same angle. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm just, I'm just making designs for the races, that's all. I just want to get around there because this is going to be like very important. I'm doing move, exaggerated, and less anime. I see. Yeah, mine is just going to be, those are just designs. Like a lot more feminine. Makes sense. After the stream, I'm going to most likely figure out the rest of the drawings I have to do. I just need to make flats and shade. So I'm going to do that so I'll be done faster. I'm going to do some writing because I still have some writing to be done. Nah, it's not going to work. Maybe like this. Yeah, that's better. Do a quick cutout character well in spine and the minimal animes, then use it for the prototype. Let's go. Let's go. And how is it going for you? I think I go cyberpunk post-apocalyptic stuff. Hey, that's actually good. Really good thing. A lot of stuff you can do there. A lot of interesting contraptions, robots, AIs, experimental tech, etc. Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of stuff to like build upon, not only graphic wise, but also story wise and system wise. I've always thought of like, you know, hacking and stuff. I really like mini games with hacking and things, right? But I can't really pull that off in a freaking medieval fantasy game, right? Like what, hacking freaking magic? Now that I said that out loud, that actually sounds pretty darn cool. Ain't it? Okay. Maybe I should have like, you know, shoot better next time and just say things out loud. But this one is just like dungeon building one. Okay, now I need to like make the woman slightly taller. I mean taller. Yeah, like this. Small difference between male and female with height, natural, you know, natural set of things kept. Hell yeah. uh, there are no those hands. Yeah, it's just like that, I guess. Because like she's a woman, right? She needs like smaller fingers. Okay. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Like, so here we need a strap. Okay. I mean, alright. She looks okay. Yeah. Uh. Okay. Okay, that works. All right. I think we've got humans done. So now we kind of have a bit better understanding how exactly humans look like. Uh, there is going to be some issues, basically. Still. Okay. I had to crack my back. God damn, it hurt. Oh yeah, I should also color them up. Well, okay then. This is the coloring. I've totally forgot about one thing. I need to be able to show the processes, but I guess like making a, you know, making this like both male and female is going to be good enough of a process. So I can skip like how I was, coming up to all of that. Like I'm going to show that when I'm going to make actual races, right? Because right now we have only humans, which humans are like basic all across every single game and story, and basically, they are the bottom line of everything. So I guess like working it out like this and just making humans starting like that, it's going to be a far better and faster and in general easier way to close everything off uh, as fast as possible. Because if I would have to like also make freaking silhouettes for humans and like try to come to the conclusion how human is going to be a human, how human the human gonna be, right? How much percent of human in this human type shit. All right. Oh, great heavens. And to be fair, I really want to like, you know, stream for a while. So we'll see, maybe we'll finish off humans fully. But to be fair, I really want to like catch up with those pieces that I still have to finish. So I don't know. I guess maybe for now we could, you know, keep things like this. Oh, actually, hold on. Hold on. Hmm. Okay. No. Okay, let's just do it like that. Hi Spritey, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope it's going? Since this is the first thing around, so hope you find the comfy corner here. How are you? Pretty good. How about yourself? Doing fantastic. You know, just working things out for my game. I need to design bunch of races. I like. I really like your art. Thank you. Good to hear. Need to make like 3 races for each fraction. I've already got them planned. Humans, elves, and dwarves for the good side, and demons, goblins, and orcs for the bad side. 3 3 heroes to fight with, and couple bosses to pick from. Slowly, yeah, slowly working out. I'm supposed to be drawing, but I got distracted again. I know that feel. Yeah, worry not. I'm also getting distracted quite easily, especially when I'm like drawing for a long while. I'm like, my brain just shuts off and needs like to play games. I've been recently playing a little bit of Pal World in the free time, you know, off stream, just for myself. But don't worry, if you like, you know, usually what really helps me is to watch how other people are drawing. That's really helping. Now, here's the thing. I see that a lot of people, when they are making, you know, designs like that, they're actually shading everything. I found a unique style I enjoy, so I've been drawing non-stop. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, that was the same when I found Rino Tuna for the first time. Like, I'm telling you, this is something else when you find your own style, basically, that you kind of, you know, aim for. Like, I'm coming from like a realistic background. I've been drawing realism most of the time, and basically, like when I started to switch towards anime, I figured out that I want to actually achieve more still kind of painterly style. Me too, lol. I draw realism still sometimes. Same with me, yeah. For example, now recently I've been having difficulties to sleep. So whenever that happens, I'm working on this painting of Mori Calliope from Hololive. Just kind of, you know, drawing her in this like, you know, realism style, making like considering that she's supposed to be deaf, yeah. Kind of pursuing that side too. But yeah, it's really cool to like come back every now and then. It's very refreshing too. Very refreshing too. I've got like a bunch of things, you know. So yeah, I don't know if I want to shade them. That's like my main concern right now. If I want to shade all of those drawings, basically. Because like I see that a lot of professional artists, like for example, the people who made Dragon's Age 2, how they were designing their races, they've basically designed them like fully colored. So I'm thinking if like how I want to do that, if I want to also shade them, I would basically. Actually, I would. But I'm still kind of like, you know, kind of concerned if I want to like push the designing further, or if I want, because right now we have only humans and they're like basic, like, you know, bottom line. They're like base of everything. So like, for example, later on we're going to have like humans are going to be shorter than elves, but taller than dwarves. Demons are going to be between elves and humans. Orcs are going to be as tall as elves. Goblins are going to be shorter than dwarves, you know, like this kind of thing. And like, I have this, you know, this vibe. I have this vibe that I want to, like, I'm doing this also to fill up my portfolio. That's also the reason why I'm not working directly on the pixel art graphics for those. Directly to actually pursue the game itself, but rather I'm making concept art, which for me as the solo game dev makes no sense whatsoever. Because if I'm making the graphics, I'm making the game, writing the story, if I'm doing everything, I don't see a reason why I should be doing concept art, because I have everything in my head. The issue is that actually, you know, me as a person with a fantasia, I see a lot of issues while drawing, well, issues planning wise while drawing. That's why I also kind of catch myself on the fact that concept art actually kind of saves me a lot of trouble. And, you know, from one thing to another, I have to say that it's going to be better for me if I'm going to actually make that, you know, make that thing, make that shading basically. I mean, make those designs. But that's the thing, right? Like, do I want to draw designs of, you know, of everything directly, or do I want to just draw designs just like that? I'm kind of stuck with that because it's a quick decision. Um, I guess I would want to stream for 1 more hour. But it already like took me a lot. To be fair, like, I guess what I'm going to do, because I also have like some stuff like also to finish off, which I don't want to, you know, push too far for myself. But yeah, I've already got like a bunch of additional characters. I love concept art. I used to make games, a zombie game, and I just love drawing the concepts of characters. Same here. Like, I really like concept art itself, but I'm currently unemployed. I have like somewhere around there like something to, you know, like pursue, like a job to pick up, because I'm waiting now for the email from the company to like invite me for the talk with the team leader there. So like, I'm already like further in the recruitation basically. I have to slave away in the work mine still. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, I'm unemployed, so I want to also like if I'm going to output the game quickly, I'll be able to quickly try to pursue income from that and make more games and just kind of like, you know, unroll myself from that, right? But like, I want to also make my portfolio, because first of all, I'm going to be able to show my portfolio to potential clients. I'll be able to, I stream here and there and soon start art commissions, but I still have my real job. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I really need a job too, kind of, because like I want, like, I've already started earning some penny from Patreon and commissions on secret accounts, right? Like, because like I'm streaming, but like I don't want to mix my streams with my commissions, right? And my commission account, it's because it's not like channel, I'm not streaming there, I'm just posting it on like websites. So basically that like commission account is like basically like started earning on it, and I went into making Patreon because I also want to like, you know, I want to make some games like this. I want to make some games the other way, right? Like basically my main concept, my main goal is to create a bunch of pixel art resources from the games and sell those too. So like I want to make a game, sell the game, sell the resources, you know, for people to use it. I guess we'll see. Maybe I'm just going to have like one massive resource folder, and I'm going to just output game after game after game with the, like, you know, similar sound effects, similar like same art style, you know, same you know, tile sets, characters, and so on and so on, just so I could like just focus on making the games, writing the stories, and etc. I feel like it's good because like if it's me who's going to be like the only artist who's going to output those games, I feel it's going to be a way better way to push it through like that, instead of like making tile sets for every single game separately. That's why like I'm going to probably work it out like this one. The one thing I still need to work on is lighting. Yeah, lighting is difficult. I mean, generally like light and shadow is probably the most difficult thing in form of theory that you can actually receive, because I know the theory, so I have like 50% in already done. Now I'm trying to like push it further on practice, and with that I'm kind of 25% done, so I can say that I know lighting in 75%, which is not much. Because when it comes to the lighting, you have hard light, soft light, you have half shadows, full shadows, quarter shadows, bounce light, tint light, subsurface scattering, you have environment light, you have you know, own shadow, cast shadow. Like there's so many concepts in just this one small topic. It's melting my brain just to think about it. So I'm not shocked that, you know, that's just the lighting you need to work on, because I assume you would be give or take in the same like like in the same difficulty that I have, right? So like, oh, I know how to decompose my characters into simple shapes. I know how to make my. I know how to make my. I know how to construct every object from simple shapes. I know how to construct humans from simple shapes, animals from simple shapes. I know my color theory, and literally the last, like, you would seem to be absolutely perfect person, like perfect person on every single stage, but the lighting is like hitting you hard like a truck, like literally. Like I wouldn't be shocked that it would be like the same thing, because I know the anatomy. I still love to study things, but I know the anatomy really well. Same for animals, same for objects. Like I have a aphantasia, so I can't imagine shit in my head, right? But with simple shapes you can create anything. Anything, literally. Like heck, this is my base. This is the 3D model I've made in Blender and throw it into Clip Studio Paint. And now I'm using it as my construction because I can skip that construction, because it's, if I have aphantasia, I can't simply draw without making that construction, because my brain is not working like this. I love anatomy a lot, and I study it all the time for fun, and I love posing, but I struggle with light a lot. Yeah, that's exactly the thing, right? Don't worry though. Like if like art is one of the things I got that as an artist, I have a great imagination and my hands right when drawing. Yeah, you know, like me without the imagination, I have to constantly use the 3D shapes to draw everything. But on the other hand, like I can draw anything at any perspective at any time of the day, basically. Because I have that like because like I am supporting myself with 3D models, that's true. Although based off of what profession, because I used to like talk with professionals, right? For example, even art project manager with a from CD Projekt Red who's taking care of The Witcher 4 right now. Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk with him and he graded my portfolio. He gave me insights, what I have to work on, what I have to do, what I should watch out for. And he said that, listen, to be fair, most of the times what concept artists are doing, they're just bashing a bunch of 3D shapes in Blender or whatever software you could use for 3D and just paint or on it. They don't even draw it. They don't even make like line art on top of it. They just paint on top of that. They just bash things together. And that's that. They just support themselves with 3D models too, even though they also have imagination. Why? Because it's speeding up the process. And as you can see, actually, with the shading, right? Like, I can manipulate the light too. So it's now also going to support me with the lighting, because as someone without imagination, I also can't imagine the direction of the light, which also have been a huge problem for me while drawing, while making the lighting, because my lights were quite inconsistent. I had some kind of direction, but they were quite inconsistent. So yeah, to be fair, I recommend. It's not cheating. There's no such thing as cheating in art. Like, if you are using 3D shapes, go for it. It's nothing else than as if you would just draw them. Like, it's literally how it goes for many, like many art related stuff. Like, anime nowadays is also being like more like progressively more and more connected with 3D too. Like animating everything is now dipping into 3D. That's the other, side of the coin. Like, because I was trying to land a job in also like game dev graphics, right? And I've also talked about that with those professionals, right? And they said like, listen, right now, concept art is your only way. You don't have 2D graphics unless the company is actually using 2D graphics, because like strictly for that specific project. But after that project is done, you can start looking for another job, because they need 3D artists, at least someone who can work somehow with 3D. And to be fair, that's why I also want to learn 3D, so I could like put it into my resume and show that I can model 3D, like at least some basic like low poly stuff, at least for now, like a character, like just draw textures on top of that and that's it. I wouldn't mind that. Like, I have to start somewhere. Like low poly, sure, I can do that every day. Like I mean, I can start learning that at some point, right? But like, there has to be progress. So I'm now drawing that, and I like really want to close off bunch of projects. Oh, I've got a bunch of projects to close off. So I've got 10 projects right now. And those are not even all of them. Well, I should get back to drawing. I won't be typing, but I'll be lurking here and listening. That's alright. So basically, I've got a bunch of projects, like I've got Dungeon Mania, which is this project that we're designing characters now for, right? I've got Necronomic, so this one is like card game kind of game. I've got Necronomica, which is a gacha game. I've called it a witching game project because it's like the idea is to make like a Hogwarts Legacy, but in pixel art with kind of battle system from Mega Man Battle Network. I've got Ypra, which is my original story action RPG game that I want to make, but I want to make this project perfect. That's like my opus magnum. I've worked on this story for years now. I've started 12 years actually. I started when I was like 12 years around, because like when I was 14 years, when I felt like when I was 14 years old, when I was 14, I've started like writing backstory to my OC that I've created, which was Devis. That's also why the name of the channel. I also used to be a Vtuber, and I was using Devis's design as my Vtuber model. I've stepped down from being a Vtuber, but I still want to pursue that story, right? I want to make manga, I want to write a book, I want to make a game from that universe. I just want to like output as much stuff connected with it as possible. I've got Gems Are Alive, which is like kind of sandbox survival game oriented around gems, but each gem is kind of like having their own way of gameplay. So like you have like dungeon crawler, you have like a dungeon crawler roguelike characters, you have RPG story based characters, and you have like clear like pure sandbox survival town building characters, which still are going to have like their own kind of twist to themselves, and which is kind of like going to change the progression, maybe like different villages, yada yada yada. And basically there would be also like a salt kind of character, because it's also crystal but very fragile, so like Souls-like, right? I've got a Mega Man like dungeon, Mega Man like Metroidvania. I've got 4 games based off of anime, which are going to be constructed around the Legacy of Goku. And before I start making Ypra, I want to make that. Why? Because I actually want to construct my game strictly around Legacy of Goku game. So I want to replicate Legacy of Goku system and design Ypra off of that. So I would create this kind of like pseudo project, like create modules for that game. And yeah, also I want to make like a bunch of other modules, like walking module, inventory, different inventory type of modules, so I could just also like output more games in this way. So like I would just input script and graphics, and it's going to immediately add that system into my project, right? So I could just make a huge mishmash and focus only on telling the story through the game, right? And like design different like maps and whatsoever, like focus on more like writing and like construct and like creatively constructive work on the game, right? That's why I want to like make a bunch of games that would have like a bunch of different, you know, stuff basically into it. So definitely, you know, some of the, you know, like just definitely some of the projects that I'm going to make are going to put in huge help towards me finishing my dream project basically. Is it going to take a long time? I don't know, actually. To be fair, I need to check like how Dungeon Mania can be split into systems, you know, because to be fair, I could make like main menu module, right? Save system module, and like start like collecting them, right? Like freaking Pokemons. Because like all I would need is going to be like script and just, you know, some kind of like basis they are going to like adjust to certain folders, because still you're going to have like in every project you're going to have like UI folder, character folder, yada yada yada. So like you know, you are going to just use everything based off of that. Yeah. I've also got an action game maker, which is a RPG maker. Well, studio who made RPG Maker created action game maker. Kwanfi, hi, thank you for your aid. How are you? Hi. Since I think this might be the first time sounds, hope you will also find a comfy corner here. So someone working on a game sprite, so I raided. Let's go. Actually, I'm doing concept art today. I've made the human for now. We were just talking about like project also, like, you know, what I want to achieve, what are my like, you know, roadway to finish all of the games, right? Because I've got a bunch of projects, and like because I have like one huge project on mine. What's this game about? So this game is card game, actually. It is basically like I wanted to make like a party game where you can like play with your friends, mostly on one PC, like LAN. I don't think like I don't know if I would be able to do like online version of it, or like, you know, online multiplayer at least. But I really want to make a game that is going to like connect people, like, you know, back in the days board games and card games used to. And basically you are choosing your like character, which is like boss of the dungeon, and then you are pulling cards and constructing the dungeon you have based off of those cards. And every turn heroes are coming in, and whoever has the most amount of symbols that this hero is interested in, that specific hero is going to come to that dungeon. And basically by killing some heroes you can farm gold, you can do some other stuff, basically, you know, just, you know, basically constantly try to upgrade yourself, get more damage on stuff. Like there will be like room you know, room cards, goon cards, right? Like cards that you can just throw onto the empty room and add your enemy in there, right? Just kind of thinking still about like how to assimilate everything all together. But you know, definitely I'm like trying to pursue all of that. It's just this one game. I'm now in the process of making the races, because I'm also making portfolio out of that. That's why I'm making this whole thing. That was not the first thing that came into my mind when you said goon cards. Imagine. Oh no. Like those cards sus. Yeah, imagine. No way. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, the general, I have more or less like a general idea what I want to do. I want to, but yeah, sounds interesting. Yeah. Although, like, just basically creating like those races, right? So Yeah, it's all this whole concept art stuff that I'm doing right now is just purely for portfolio. Like, also, I would need to. I know more or less how I want. Sounds like it would work as a physical game too. Yeah. Also, actually, it's strongly referenced from already made card game like this, like a physical card game, right? I just changed some stuff in the game. I also want to make that after each game you can get like you are getting like gold coins. You can exchange those gold coins for like booster packs in this store or like other like generally thing. So you would have like some kind of way to unlock things, so you wouldn't like start off with possibility to like just have like Dominator, the obliterator of worlds, right? And you like one hit KO everyone. If like you can like walk up to your friend's house and just beat the living crap out of him just to win the game, you know? Like, I just want to like get the players to at first like experience the game with slightly weaker units, and then have like possibility to unlock stronger units to make the games longer or more interesting, because also like all the bosses are going to have their own like systems. Like, for example, King Leech is going to be able to like going to have a passive that every room that you are placing is always going to have like skeleton enemy placed into it as a protectors, right? Like directly or something like that. But of course it's going to be quite OP, right? Because like you already have advantage over like players who have to place the enemies into their rooms directly, right? So like balance and everything will have to like come up. But I'm still wondering if those booster packs are going to be a good idea. Like, of course it's going to be like all in game. Like, I don't want to make it like, you know, oh hey, buy this expansion pack and be OP. Like, no, that's absolutely, I hate this. I absolutely hate. I think it breaks the fun out, takes away fun out of the games. I think what would be fun would be actually unlocking the expansion packs within the game from the like currency you're earning by playing the game itself, right? So basically, hey, play this. This is like base of your game. Unlock this expansion, and you are going to introduce more rules into the game and more things. No point in selling stuff if there is no multiplayer. This is going to be multiplayer. You know, this is going to be multiplayer, but it's like I want to make it that at least one player would have to have the things bought, right? Or like you can play through that Steam remote play. That would be cool, but I would have to like figure out how I can do that, because I still want to. This game is strictly planned to be party game, right? But still you can play alone if you want to. Like, it's not going to be restricting you. Is this a solo project, or do you have other people in this project? Solo. I prefer to work solo because I feel like the more people you have in your team, the more people want their portion to be included in the game. And some people are just coming up with ideas. Oh, I want my OC god to be introduced into the game, or I'm not working with you. Right? Like, yeah. I've had really bad experience with teams. I was helping around with people like this, and all of them were breaking apart like this. Like, you either have to work with really experienced friends that are going to understand how the whole project works, and that there's project manager who establishes what is done in the game, and then like, you know, all of you work in some kind of like, you know, pipeline, right? Because like everything is like a pipeline. You make the game like a pipeline from like concepts to tests, to demos with all the systems to finished product, right? Like all of that have like also have like their own stages to do. But if you're like working with like some random people, everyone wants to be the project manager, and like we have actually in Poland we have like a saying, where's 5 cooks there's nothing to eat. That's exactly it, right? Yeah. So that's that. um and I was like helping people with bunch of like really interesting projects. And like for example, there was a project for a horror game where there was like a chemical fire and basically some kind of a mutant was created. We say that two bagpipers can't fit into a pub. Yeah. That's also, yeah, that also works. So yeah, that's that. Like, yeah. So although sometimes I feel like it's like I'm having too much on my plate. Like again, like I'm looking at those 10 projects that I have, and I knowing that I'm going to just go down with everything beat by beat, you know? And like, oh, I'm going to release that, I'm going to work on that, I'm going to update this game, and so on and so on and so on. I feel like it's a really cool thing to have, but at the same time I feel like it's going to be really difficult to do alone. You know? So yeah. I admit it's, yeah, it's going to be really difficult to do it alone, but I'm working solo. Also, the action game maker, yeah. Um, I figured that for now I'm going to like hold up my learning of programming, which I still want to do, like learning C# and stuff. And I know that it's the best way to learn something is going to be through making projects, but I want to like start with, oh, I'm going to make a calculator, a notepad, a calendar, and so on. So on. It's going to teach me everything that I probably will need, and just go with the book that I've got, which like teaches me. Actually, I've got that book from Zega. Thank you again. And because it's teaching me how to make games with C# while teaching me all of C#, at least most of the like most usable stuff from C#, and that I would use on everyday basis. And I want to learn that, but at the same time, like it's going to be difficult to pull it off. And I feel like I'm really close to like start unloading myself from stuff. Yeah, should try to find something specific to your application. Yeah, yeah, that's that, you know. But that's also the same thing. Like, for example, I want to like learn how to program with all that stuff, right? But I've got Action Game Maker, so I'm earning from Patreon and stuff. The hard part for large projects is finding a good way to architect and organize the code. Yeah. So I've got Action Game Maker. I'm earning from Patreon commissions. I saved for it. It's not a cheap thing, but I've went for that. And why did I went for it? It's a made overlay. Well, it's edited Godot to contain more advantageous visual coding. I know how to code. I understand I understand some like the most important like stuff in the coding, so I can code visually. But I don't know the syntax for stuff, and basically it's very difficult for me to like push through, right? Learning, and I've went for this because I can do the same thing, you know, for many stuff. That's why I've went for Action Game Maker. It's Godot based, it has a lot of stuff that I would need. That's why I feel it's going to be really cool to work this off. And I have like, so I'm doing like at least what I want to achieve during the week. And so far I'm achieving everything that I'm writing every week. So like finish commission, plan this, stream that amount of times, do that many artworks for, you know, for the side accounts, and you know, that's that. I want to make that Legacy of Goku base. So like we are going to have like character walking, running, blocking, using ki, having key boosted defense, skill swapping, same character swapping, saving system. I want to do that because it's also going to like help me a bunch of trouble later on with many other projects. Like I'll be able to take the saving system, I'll be able to take walking system, and so on for like other projects. Again, like I want to make modules. I want to make a lot of stuff by module. And I can take those scripts and I can copy them one-to-one. And I can, well, copy them one-to-one. I can copy them and just use them, the same thing, in other project. So I can just, as I'm going to make so much, like so many games, or even like I can sit down and just, oh, okay, I'm going to make a, I'm going to just sit down, I'm going to visual code like, I'm, you know, that the square is going to move with the arrows. Walking module. I'm going to make that after hitting I, a window pops up and it's going to be like inventory based, inventory module. And same thing for everything else. I don't even have to make actual games. I can just work on the modules. Which is just, you know, simple. But I want to make that like demo, right? I want to make this some kind of demo for Legacy of Goku because I want to make anime-based games like Legacy of Goku used to be for Game Boy. And I want to replicate this whole game, this whole system, and I want to make whole story of whole Dragon Ball, from the very first Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super, and now the new Dragon Ball that's going to come out. Naruto through Naruto Shippuden, maybe Naruto to Boruto, but I don't know. I kind of hate Naruto to Boruto especially. One Piece, you know. I just want to like do those as fun projects. Because while I'm going to work on those, I'm going to also work on a bunch of different systems. Like in IPRA, in my like this huge project that I'm going to make. First of all, I'm already going to have all of the graphics done. I'm going to have all of the sound effects done. I'm going to have all of the modules done. The only thing that I have to do is going to be maps, NPCs, visuals, right? And basically just songs. Because I'm going to have, while I'm going to work on all of those, I'm going to basically create all of those, like, you know, sound effects, etc. Right? I'm also going to make games that are where I'm going to learn how to make music, right? All those chip tunes and stuff. So the general I have the general concept. I have a plan why I have so many projects, and it's actually because I have like secret plan to just go full on lazy mode and have like a library and like I want to make a game. Okay, it's going to, I'm writing the whole game like document, collecting like what I need. And I'm just like in a store, I'm going to like, oh, I'm going to take that, and that. And I'm just going to like constantly expand this like resource library that I'm also going to have. Like, oh, I want this map to look like this, but I don't have that item in my tile set. I'm going to add that thing into my tile set, and for the next game or for the next instance I need it, I can actually like do it, right? Also, like, for example, in Dragon Ball, I'm going to have like but once you have some experience, it becomes not as hard. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is true. You're right. I just need a lot of experience, but you know, like for example, in Naruto, I'm going to literally use the same thing that I want to use for my for actually the Legacy of Naruto, you know, that Legacy of Goku type of game, but for Naruto is going to contain a lot of stuff that I'm going to use because um in Ipra, right, we're going to be able to create spells, right? So it's like, don't expect the first few projects to be not factorial. Yes, don't worry, I do expect that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's going to be like that. Like, you know, why does my character passes through collision? Yeah, that's the thing. So exactly, that's what I'm going to do. Dungeon Mania, Necronomica, Witching Game, and Kitsuya Project. Those are the four main projects that are not that are less important architecturally. Games that already are like finished, like polished by writing, games that are not going to have that like that difficult things to do, right? But what the thing is going to what's going to be more problematic is that Kitsuya is going to be side view game, right? But I'm still going to have like some stuff. But this is exactly what I'm doing, right? Like I'm going to collect like polished modules. Like, oh okay, so I've made this game, I had to and people are going to tell me all the bugs. I'm going to fix those bugs in the updates. And as the time going to go, I'm going to polish those modules so much that when I'm going to upload them to a new project, they're going to work perfectly, right? And like I'm going to make sure that all of the modules I'm going to operate in a way that there will be no chance that they are going to like, only if that would be so easy. That's why I'll need some time to polish them off, right? But the thing is that I'm going to like do everything to make the how to say this, to make those modules um work together. So of course, like I'm going to split it between like top down view and side view, right? Because like, you know, walking in side view is going to work differently than in top down view, right? So yeah, that's the thing. And Ipra is going to be strictly done in top down view. Of course, I'm going to have like, you know, arenas, like arena mini game where we are going to see like side view, and it's going to be like, you know, you'll be able to jump and just fight, you know. But yeah, oh yeah, there's going to be a lot of things. Also, the system where like you have to in Ipra where you have to like make bunch of like spells by yourself. So like, you know, you are going to, for example, unlock more and more um how to say this, you have to kind of like come up with the recipes for certain attacks, but also there's going to be a difference because you are going to have a skill tree, and the skill tree is going to be able to transform your spell into something else. And like environmental spells are going to be more also really darn difficult. What do I mean by environmental spells? If you if in Ipra, if you are going to like add fire and water together, you're going to create steam, and if you just throw the spell, you're going to create a mist. And mist is going to actually affect the environment. It's going to actually generate mist around you, right? So that's the thing. Also, if you are going to make mist and add fire to that, you are going to create like ash dust, which is also going to work like mist. But if you then use even like simple fire spell, it's going to create massive explosion. That's why it's environmental. It's actually going to affect the environmental around you, right? Or create like different environmental conditions, because the enemies inside of the mist are going to be confused, right? That's why I'll need to sit to so many different games to create so many modules. So I could just assemble my dream game just to make it work. It's just crazy. Like, it's crazy thing to think about, but it actually makes sense, right? Right. Well, I've got 3 hours of talk. I'm sorry that I didn't really like pushed more of that, like, you know, race design actually today. I thought that I would actually be able to pull it off, but you know, that's that. Well, you know, right, here we are. So, folks, as always, I'm going to wish you stay creative, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care and bye bye.